Hey guys, what's up? I'm Dan and welcome back to Adventures in Guitarland, where I teach you how to play guitar by playing a role-playing game. It's Friday. It's not Wednesday, it's not Saturday. We've changed our format to only come out with one video a week on Fridays because life is getting busy, kids are back in school, and I can only do one a week. 2 a week is getting to be a little too stressful, so we're going to roll back. But we're going to continue to bring you content. For the next month or so, we're going to work on some different dynamic techniques that will make you a better guitar player and bring your music to the next level. We're going to start out by looking at a particular technique that will help make things maybe a little more aggressive. Before we do, click that like, subscribe, and bell icon so you're notified whenever I come out with new content. Leave a comment below on if you already knew this technique or if you need some more instruction on how to do it better. Without further ado, let's get into this. All right, so slightly new setup. It's high. I'm going to stand when it comes time to do the actual instruction. So what we're doing here is called palm muting. That's what we're going to cover today. You've heard this in all kinds of things. A lot of thrash metal uses this, a lot of punk uses this, and even some pop uses it. I think the Police used it in a pretty popular song. So you can use it both clean and distorted. Distortion is the typical way that it's used, and I will show you the different ways to play that. Let's start right now. All right, so the first thing you need to understand is that palm muting is really just muting the amount of vibration on the string. So here's the difference. Here's your open note, right? And I'm going to keep distortion on because it just makes it easier to hear this particular technique. So what you're going to do is you're going to take the fleshy part of your hand right here and you're going to put it just in front of the bridge. And it's going to be touching those strings in front of the bridge, in front of that contact point. And that is going to allow it to slightly muffle that sound. So let's do just an E string on, or just the low E string on a pedal tone, just a dun 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 with downstrokes. And I'll do 4 without it, 4 with the palm mute, and then you can see the difference between them. So you hear how when I have it down there, it's staccato, it kind of cuts off. It mutes a little bit of the sound and it doesn't last as long. And that is really important when you're playing a lot of things like punk and metal, because let's say something that a lot of thrash bands, and Metallica, Slayer, Anthrax, a lot of these guys did this pedal tone on the low E string while playing chords over top of it or just in between them. And it wasn't all downstrokes. It can be done alternate picking as well. Right? So there's one way that you can do it with just the pedal tone. Now let's say that, oh man, you know, that's nice, but I'm not really a metal player, or I want to have a little more sound, a little more sonic variance to it. Well, play the whole chord that way. And that's when you start getting, it's kind of that more punk sound. Right? So there's another way to use it. And all I'm doing there is the same technique. I'm just hitting more than one string and playing a chord. So let's hear what that's like when you're playing just a little lead fill. So you kind of hear how that kind of almost makes it want to jump into something. Almost makes it kind of want to set off, right? Right, and that's kind of like an intro feel. You can use it there too, or you can add a little bit of effect to it. So this is just adding a little bit of chorus, and I dialed down the gain for a little less distortion, and you'll hear a very, let's say 80s sound. And all I'm doing there is muting the D string and letting the actual chord ring out. Now you can also, of course, just mute all of them. But in order to do that, you will need to move your hand down just a little bit. It's rare that you're able to get that palm mute with the side of your fingers. There's just not enough fleshy material there. It really works well from here to here. So by moving my hand just down a little bit, I'm able to mute all those, but if I try it from here, it just doesn't quite work. All right, now there are different ways that you can do this, and a lot of that has to do with where the palm of your hand is in relation to your bridge. So if you play really far back, just barely having the slightest bit of flesh come over the bridge, you can get some really kind of doom, sludgy kind of sounds. Whereas if you move it just a little bit forward, it cuts it off and makes it a little more staccato. So the closer to the bridge that the fleshy part is, the longer that those strings will continue to vibrate and the louder they'll be. As you move up, the less, until eventually you basically start muting them out because you're too far forward. And that's what you're going to get with this particular technique. Now, hey, can you play this clean? Absolutely. Is it just on those strings? Nope, you can play it up here too. And if you want to use that same intro that I always play, you can do something like this. And just kind of make that center part on that C chord a little more staccato. So there you go, guys. That's how you palm mute and different ways to use it. If you like this video, click that like, subscribe, and bell icon. It really helps out when it comes to YouTube's algorithm so that I can put out more and maybe get this video out to more people who would like it. Don't forget to leave a comment below. And until next time, enjoy your adventure, and I'll see you in Guitarland.